Hello everyone, nubkeks here, and drumroll please, welcome back to Nub Raids. That's right, we're back finally after, gosh, I haven't really sat down to record a video properly in, I guess, over 2 weeks now. It's been a long time. It was a really nice break, to be honest, but it is nice as well to be back, sort of, not quite in the swing of things, you know, that January first day back feeling. I'm kind of going, hey, look, it's the weekend. I guess I'll throw a video up for the weekend. We'll come back properly on Monday, though. But we've got a nice video for you today. I think you'll really enjoy this one, and this to me is really cool. One of the super exciting things that happened while I was away, we are here on Zeno's account. If you've been watching the channel for a long time, he was formerly Nemesis. We've done quite a few collabs thanks to Zeno in the past, being able to showcase cool champions. We're back with another one today from the Stable clan. And who are we showcasing but one of the champs that received a massive buff while I was gone? I actually don't have this champion myself. Teela Goremane. Previously one of, if not the worst, legendary champion in the entire game. The worst one. Looks cool, but she was absolutely terrible. Well, she has been reworked. And now, I think we're going to hopefully show today, I think she's actually extremely good. So let's take a look at her. What has changed? So her A1, Hex Drinker Scimitar. I think this is pretty much still the same, where it steals a buff from the target and then has a 50% chance of stealing another buff if the target's under 2 or more buffs. Not particularly amazing, but it's decent for Hydra, right? Like if increased attack goes out, she can remove that increased attack from Head of Wrath. That's actually quite a big deal. And so on and so forth. You know, removing the reflect damage, removing the ally protection, not too bad. We are, by the way, focusing very much on Hydra here. I don't think I made that clear, but we're focusing very much on Hydra for the video today. For A2 then, Pyre Strike. This used to be a single target HP burn. Now, this is an AoE attack that has, when booked up, a 100% chance of placing HP burn for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown, and then also puts out a 15% continuous heal on all allies for 2 turns as well. This is a fantastic move. It's really solid. I think, you know, an AoE 3-turn cooldown HP burn by itself is a solid move. That's a good, solid, usable champion right there. The fact that it comes with quite a ton of healing as well makes this a really solid move. Very respectable, but it gets better. That's not even her best thing. Life Worm then, this used to formerly be, I believe it was heal reduction and leech. This has now been changed. It is a 4-turn cooldown AoE, so she does have 2 AoEs. With a 100% when booked chance of increasing the duration of all HP burn debuffs on all enemies by 1 turn. For Hydra, that part, not that exciting. It's kind of nifty. It's okay, but it's not a game changer. However, also has a 100% chance when booked of placing Leech and Hex for 2 turns, and that is extremely good. So with the Leech, and especially when combo with the continuous heal, she's going to provide your team with a ton of healing. An absolute ton of healing, which is really useful. The Hex, though, the Hex debuff is extremely good for Hydra, especially since the Hex buff that happened a few months ago now, I guess. Number 1, for Hydra, it does let you target the Head of Mischief, which is one of the big problem heads for a lot of players. Difficult to break a champion free when Mischief devours them. And because Mischief takes so many turns, he often is the head that devours you. She helps you deal with this pretty directly. And then on top of that, Hex also redistributes damage or duplicates a small portion of the damage that you do to every head with Hex. You'll know this if you used any other Hex champions in Hydra, like Mithrala, for example. They actually end up contributing an awful lot of damage. So we've got the damage from the Hex and also the utility of targeting with the Hex. We've got the damage of all these HP burns. We're actually extending those HP burns as well. We've got the Leech, the continuous heal for healing. We can remove buffs with the A1 if we need to. Resistance in all battles. You put all this stuff together, I think you can see why Teela's pretty hyped now. She actually looks extremely good for Hydra. Now, in terms of how we've built her, actually, it was Zeno that did all the building. I actually think he's done a really good job here. He's put her in Guardian and Protection. Now, the Protection set is just for some stats, and that's fine. I think Guardian is really nice for her. She is a HP-based champion. Well, actually, she's a support champion with a lot of base HP, okay? So, not a bad champion to put in the Guardian set. It basically gives you like a very mini permanent ally protection going on, and also heals her every turn. I think it's pretty damn solid. She can definitely easily be built to take a hit. There's not really too much point in building her for damage. Indeed, because she's a HP based damage dealer, building her for HP will make her hit a bit harder anyway, but it's really about the utility of her abilities, really. So great set for her. Other good sets, you could run her in Relentless if you had spare Relentless, though you probably don't. Reflex would be fine. You could just run her in speed sets, perception sets, resist, anything really that's going to give her relevant stats. I think Guardian is a great one, though, to help keep your team alive even more and to let her actually do the healing, let the leech and the continuous heal do their job and heal champions up when they don't get one shot, basically. So that's what we're looking for. And in terms of the total stats, what we've done here, obviously this is more, you know, more late game sort of build, but what you're going to go for, I think good speed like this for Hydra is definitely what you want, you know, 220 plus. Getting her faster than that works really well too. You go all the way up to 250 plus and you're going to be happy, right? But trying to get her fast, we've got her with good HP, actually a lot of defense. She doesn't need this much defense, guys. You could build her HP up more if you wanted that Guardian set to be a bit more secure and all of that, but whatever, doesn't really matter. And then we've got her with good resistance and accuracy. So this obviously depends on the level of Hydra that you're going into, how much of these stats that you will need. Accuracy is obviously the most important thing. You want her to land all those really nice debuffs. I think it is worth building her with some decent resistance as well. It's just going to help her stay alive, let the poisons not hurt her too much and stuff like that. This is optional though. I think crit rate, crit damage are both completely optional too. So very straightforward to build, really. Just good accuracy, good speed, and then a good chunk of HP. Then resistance and defense as a secondary priority, and that's basically it. If we look at the particular piece of gear, if you're curious, you can see what he's going to put on her right here. Lots of speed on that right there. Good bit of speed there, and defense gloves. So like, the defense gloves are not ideal, but hey, look, it got 2 rolls in speed. It's in Guardian, so it works fine. Accuracy chest to make sure you've got enough accuracy. Speed boots. You could put her in HP percent chest or whatever. It depends on how much accuracy and resistance you have. Resistance chest, all that stuff is good. Defense ring here. HP neck. And a resistance banner with lots of HP and a little bit of speed. So it gives you a rough gist for how he has built her. For the masteries, he actually said he forgot to redo the masteries, but I think they're pretty solid. So we're going to go down the offense tree. Going to grab War Master. I think this is definitely worthwhile. She has 2 AoE attacks right now. It's going to give you a decent chunk of extra damage against Hydra, and why not build for that? We will grab Life Drinker, help her stay alive. Not really that important, but again, why not? Shield Breaker you could ignore. That's not going to do anything for Hydra, so you could remove that. You could give her Heart of Glory instead, for example, or you could give her Charged Focus, which we don't have. It's not going to make a massive difference, but it's something you can do. Going to get her accuracy here. Obviously, Exalt in Death does nothing for Hydra, so you go for Charged Focus. Nothing wrong with grabbing this, simply to get over to Rapid Response, though, right? So on this row here, we're going to get more turn meter when debuffs expire, and more turn meter when buffs expire. Then coming into Cycle of Magic and Lore of Steel, mostly to get into these 2 at the bottom, which I think are the more important ones. So Master Hexer, extend that Hex, extend the Leech, extend the Burn even more. And then Lasting Gifts, extend the Continuous Heal even more. So there's some flexibility here, but I think something like this is definitely what I'd be doing. Grabbing the buff and the debuff speed stuff, and grabbing the extensions for both. So let's dive in to the Hydra. Let's see her in action, shall we? We're going to showcase her here on hard. I think she's actually viable all the way up to Nightmare. Honestly, you could definitely run her there. If you're curious, these are the 3 teams that he has been running before. So I was thinking of just slotting her in the place of Geomancer. The advantage being, of course, with the Hex and with the AoE burn compared to Geomancer. She gives you the advantage of being much more auto-friendly. She's a very auto-friendly champion. Just slap your team in, leave them go, you know, and she does the job, right? They're going to be able to, they're going to really rip Mischief apart because of Hex, no problem. The burn's going to do its work, and you don't need to worry about targeting stuff. So that's an advantage there. But I didn't want to bring in this team because we got lots of Leech. So what I decided to do, we're going to slap her in with this team instead. So what have we got going on with this team? We do have Bivald of the Thorn in the lead. Unfortunately, he does bring Leech, but he also brings us provoke, which is what we're going to be looking for, right? We want somebody that's able to keep provoking the Head of Decay, and Bivald is really good for that. He was a fusion last year, albeit at the start of last year, so it was a while ago. We also have another fusion in here. We've got Uko, Mighty Uko, going to be bringing us that block buffs, decrease accuracy, bringing us decrease attack as well, although he is unfortunately right now the bad affinity for Head of Wrath. We'll make do though, because we really want the decrease attack and block buffs and Head of Wrath. A little bit difficult here, but we'll make do. And he brings us the revive as well. We have Lydia for the decreased defense, weaken, increase speed and strengthen for our team, keeping us alive and helping us do more damage. Royal Guard for damage. We got Teela for the AoE burns and the Hex and the Leech and the heals. And then we've got Inquisitor Shamael in. He's going to be, whenever the Head of Torment comes in, if we're lucky, he's going to speed boost Bivald to keep those provokes out there, which is great. And then he's also going to just make the Head of Torment not bother us. So that's roughly speaking what we're doing. Obviously, there's room to switch things around. You could bring in like a Rector Drath instead of Shamael, bring in like an Ugo, and then you could swap out Lydia for a different speed booster, right? And you'd be fine just like that. So something like that. But yeah, we'll see how the damage compares between Teela and Royal Guard. So we'll go in, we'll play the first little bit on manual, then we'll click just auto and leave them off, leave them on, so you can sort of see what's happening. So we'll come in, obviously we're going to decrease defense and weaken here, boost us up. We'll go in and we'll try get the block buffs up. We did get it on Wrath, that's good. Teela's coming in, and then you've got your choices. So basically what you want to do, you always want to prioritize Pyre Strike, priority 1 for full auto, get the burns out, and then priority 2 on Life Worm. It's just going to make her get the most Pyre Strikes out as possible. So she comes in, boom, Pyre Strike. The damage itself isn't going to be that much, and there's not really a point in building her for damage, but is going to come out and put out all those burns. We're going to throw out the leeches and the provoke right here. We'll come in with the takedown. You can see the takedown, big chunk of damage. I guess we can start plugging away at this head with Shamael. And let's come around to Teela's Hex, which is the next thing. Okay, well, I guess we could... there's not really too much to do here. I guess we'll put the block buffs on him. I don't know if it matters. We got 3 turns on Wrath there, which was lucky, so we'll take it. We don't really need the increased speed right now. Let's try get decrease attack. We didn't get it, unfortunately. And Bivald has been provoked, which means this guy is going to get his cleanse off. We'll go in with this move anyway, so you can see it goes in right there. We get leeches out. We get the hexes out. And yeah, all that good stuff. We'll come and put in the decreased speed. And you can see when we shoot this head, for example, it's going to pop up, bam, 28k. But look at that. You see all that bonus damage from the War Master as well, all popping up. That is what Hex does. It's going to duplicate and replicate a lot of damage. Now, unfortunately, because, like I said, of this lack of provoke right here, stuff's going to get cleansed, which is a bummer. But there you go. So this will be the one sketchy part, I think, while this head is enraged. He's going to hit us really hard. Let's see if we can get decrease attack out. Again, no bueno, no luck. We can just smack this head. Doesn't really matter at this point. Here you go, put out the decreased defense. Give us strengthen and speed. Thank you. We'll keep smacking him. It'd be good to get the shield onto him. I actually don't know. Can he provoke? Yeah, he can provoke. He can provoke still through weak hits. So you know what? Let's go for this. Let's see if we get the provoke here. We didn't, unfortunately. Ah, well. That's fine. Let's go. Let's see how hard this head hits. So he's hitting us pretty hard right there. Again, the Guardian set from Teela is going to help a little bit. And all that sort of stuff. We're going to get block buffs up. Or we're not going to get it up. We'll get it up with Lydia. That's a nice thing about Lydia with Uko. When you do get both of them. Back around to the HP burn here. Boom. Lovely. Is that Lydia can sort of back up your... yeah, she can be a backup for... when Uko isn't able to place the block buffs out. At this point, we might as well throw this out, get the leech out and whatnot. We'll try to break this shield right here. He ignores defense anyway, so we don't really need to worry. Smack over here. And yeah, we should be good. The main thing is, look, we're getting a bit beat up, but when people take turns, Teela's going to heal them up. We've a lot of healing, actually, in this team. Again, we're going to go for the decrease attack. We just don't want to get it, though, unfortunately. No decrease attack for us. Sure, we'll go try break this shield. That's fine. So we're going to take a pretty big hit. This is why we do have Uko in here to revive. Look at all that healing from that leech, though. It's an absolute phenomenal amount. We can actually heal up more with Bivald as well. Why not? And as you can see, we've got a ton of healing with this team. which is just going to make things quite easy, actually, to be honest. So here we go. We can, at this point, we'll put out the speed for Bivald. Why not? Keep that consistent. We'll go for another burn. Get the burn on. Lovely. Get decreased speed on this head to try lock him down a little bit more. Block buffs actually not looking too important. We'll put it on this head here. I think he's going to take an extra turn. We want to try stop that and see if we can get the provoke out with Bivald A1. We don't, but hopefully with the speed stuff, we should be quick enough to get back around. So let's throw this stuff out. That's fine. Might actually kill this head off. And yeah, we're actually in a pretty good spot now where I think this head dies before he really gets to do anything. Here we go. Bam. The Hex is back out again, and we should do some pretty huge damage now when we get back around. Let's keep focusing down him. But you can see all these extra damage procs. Lovely. And yeah, so we're slower. Here we go. We'll definitely get the provoke out. I think at this point we can just hit auto and let's watch him go, right? We could have hit auto from the start. What you want to do when you hit auto from the start, I guess with this particular team, I'd be clicking on probably Head of Decay just to focus the Bivald single target attacks on him. The only thing you'll lose out on is you will miss the single target block debuff or block buffs from Lydia, which is the main thing you'd miss out on. So that's one thing. If you do want to full auto this team, it should generally speaking be very good. You can see all these bonus damage procs, and look at this, we're going to get some pretty big bonus damage now across whenever yeah, basically whenever we hit these heads. There we go, Pyre Strike again. She's going to hit this one single target. I think he's just going to die. Yeah, look at all the bonus damage ticks from the Hex being pretty nice. It'd be great if we could get Hex out now where we've got some decapitated heads. That can add up to an absolute ton of damage. We'll see if we're lucky. Head of Mischief come in. Very good. Ah, no Hex this time. That's okay. But it does mean that we should get Hex on Mischief, which is very nice indeed. So I'm not too worried really at this point about targeting anything. Let's leave it mostly on full auto. We could click this guy if we wanted to. I'm going to be kind of cheeky because we're just on hard. I'm not really going to bother. Actually, at this point, you can see, look at all that redirected damage. It does add up to quite a bit. Unfortunately, we've got no provoke now, so I will target this head. Just make sure we get him broken out nice and early. No stress. Actually going to be very easy now to get us free with the Head of Torment in there. So here we go. Let's get him broken free soon enough. Royal Guard's going to get super boosted up. In terms of positioning, guys, I did put Bivald in the lead for when Shamail starts boosting. When Bivald gets eaten, like so, we're going to get some healing out from this head spreading, but it's not a big deal. When Bivald gets eaten, actually, let's take it off auto. You can see how much he gets hit there from that reflect damage. Let's see what Teela can do about this. We've got Royal Guard in position 2 to break Bivald out quickly, and then we have Uko position 3, which means that if one of the first two guys is dead, Uko will get lots of turns, strip off their buffs, and yes, basically keep us safe. Right, we can go in with the provoke, get some leeches out here. So I don't know if Teela has her leech available. The leech will help deal with the reflect damage and all of that. Here we go. We can actually strip off a good few of these buffs. That makes it much easier. Let's see if Teela can strip a buff. That's why I wanted to take it off auto. We'll see. Not sure. One thing you can do with Bivald, you can disable his A3 if you want to, but it is a nice bit of extra healing. Like, for example, right here, we might as well throw it out. You can see, boom, it's a nice chunk of healing and shielding. He can actually do quite a bit. And we're halfway through the damage requirement that we need. We'll just focus this shield down. Okay, here we go. So shield come in and just go, hey, you see that speed? Yeah, I'll take that. Thanks very much. And it just sort of makes stuff more consistent, really, which is pretty great. So that's a pretty good thing that she does. So yeah, there we go. We can target. I mean, we can just hit full auto for another little bit here. Doesn't really matter now at this point. Let them do kind of what they want. We do have Inquisitor Shamail, as you can see, set up to be a bit of a mischief tank. And with Uko, especially with the decreased accuracy, we're going to get quite a lot of mischief tanking out just from this team in general, which is pretty nice. So yeah, I'm actually feeling pretty confident about it. And you can see now with this head, in fact, we should probably not target, it's actually not target Decay. Just make sure we're going to single target somebody else. Keep keep Torment alive as long as possible. But yeah, basically, look at this. I did do a full auto test of this before, guys, and in about 8 minutes, we did the 1 key damage. It's slower because we're doing it on manual, and I'm talking. So yeah, that's going to slow us down a bit. Now we've got the Hex out. What we could definitely do at this point, we could actually, if we wanted to, just really target Mischief and kill off Mischief very quickly. And especially with Torment out there, we should rotate around the A2 of Bivald fast enough that it really shouldn't matter. But you can see all these extra damage ticks going out. They do add up, especially when he comes in with the takedown move right there. All of that hex damage is doing a lot of bonus, and we can really kill Mischief off quickly. Mischief is very squishy. With those 2 turns of hex, he's going to be in for a world of hurt. And actually, when you start killing Mischief, right, when he dies, where is the thing? Is it on his A1 maybe? Yeah, when you decapitate him, he fully depletes the turn meters of all Hydra heads. So it actually can add up to a ton. I really do mean a ton of extra damage when you go out there. In fact, right now we could hit this decapitated head. Look at these chunks. When you hit a decapitated head, that hex really adds up to an awful lot, right? Mischief is dead. He's depleted their turn meters. Just gives us more time to basically mess them up. Pretty great stuff, and there we go. You can see we're absolutely ripping through now at this point. Full auto, it's very quick. And we add in... One thing we're lacking, I guess, is a more consistent decreased speed. Like right now, he might get a cleanse off, but they're mostly dead, so we don't really mind. Yeah, he's gonna cleanse, but they're mostly dead again, so we don't really mind at this point. Here we go. Teela should be coming back around to her stuff anyway pretty soon. There we go. The decreased defense goes back on. We actually got super lucky. Torment respawned. You get the gist of it though, guys. That's basically how it works. Boom. Lifeworm comes in again. Hex is back on. Gonna duplicate a lot of damage once more. Fantastic stuff. All right. At this point, I think we should probably target this head right here. Hopefully we get back around to either the burn or... Here we go. Ukko's Fury is going to give us block buffs on 2 of these guys. Hopefully we get back to the burn from Teela so we can hit these heads through the poison cloud. We'll see if we're lucky or not. Hopefully. But we should break her free, no problem. Let's just see breaking her free. Yeah, she comes in with a burn. Brilliant. Fantastic. Look, you guys can see this is clearly going to do a 1 key. I'm going to pause the video recording, and I'll come back when I run out the key. I'm just going to play it through on auto. I'll just basically target heads that devour a champion and so on, and we'll see what sort of max damage potential that we have with this particular team. I think it should do pretty well, so I'll be back in a couple of seconds for you, and hopefully a good while for me. See you guys in a minute. Whoo-wee! Okay, well, that actually took way longer than I expected here. Oh my, wait, my light's even gone. Hang on. There we go. It got cloudy. It started raining outside. That run went for so long. Look at that. Almost 110 million. Almost 109. Let's just go 109.69. Hey, nice, nice. But that took me 47 minutes on full auto. Obviously, we lost about, 5 or so minutes at the start. That run just kept going and going. I think we were almost turn count 260 or something by the time it ended. But look at these stats here, guys, at the end. Obviously, Bivald's damage is higher because he's getting boosted by Shamail and the Brimstone damage too. But we have 17 million from Bivald, 23.6 million from Royal Guard, 17 million from Shamail. But Teela is coming through with 33.6 million damage here on hard. Also bringing in 5.2 million healing, which is a huge amount of healing. She's doing most of it. Obviously, the healing on Shamail and Royal Guard are from the leech. Which is partially the leech. Obviously, Bivald is providing leech as well. But Teela bringing that leech, it's a really powerful debuff, as you can see on Hydra. Just the amount of healing that you get from it is really, really huge. So there you go, guys. Look at that. Absolute beast of a key. Way better even than I expected here on hard. I think this exact team would be easily able to full auto brutal as well. And then obviously going into Nightmare, you're going to need really good gear, of course, to do Nightmare. But I think this team would put up a really good job. I think this team possibly could 1-key Nightmare. Though I think you would want to have it be in a rotation where Torment is starting. I think if you get Torment starting and then Torment respawns with a Shamail team like this, I think this team could easily 1-key, even on probably mostly auto, Nightmare, Hydra. But you would want Torment starting in. Just to make it easier. You might even get through, and once Torment spawns in, things get really smooth with the Shamail. But yeah, that's really nice. Really, really nice. There we go. We're going to keep that result. Definitely coming in here to hard. I don't think we used any of the champs that Zeno usually uses on Brutal or or yeah, so on. I mean, as you can see, we absolutely smashed it. I don't know, these guys probably just left it full auto. Obviously I was targeting stuff, which does mix it up, but when you look at these other teams, really good teams as well, they're doing, you know, the 20 million, they're doing 50, 60 million. We came in with the 109.69. Of course, we have really good champions in here. Bivald, Uko, Lydia, they're amazing. And Teela now as well is absolutely amazing. Let me just double check that we're good. Yeah, look at that. It's Brutal. It's a Nightmare team. They are untouched. We have really good champs as well, and they're like Nekmothar and stuff I didn't want to use in this run. But basically, Teela, how good is Teela? In my opinion, Teela is now S tier for Hydra. S tier for Hydra, and she will scale up. We ran her here on hard. She's going to scale up really well into Brutal and Nightmare. She is plenty tanky, helps protect your team if you build her in Guardian, but there's other options. You can build her, like I said, in anything. But the damage of HP burn, she did crazy damage in this run. That damage is scalable, right? Because the health of the Hydra heads goes up. HP burn scales up. Hex is going to scale up when you're running with these max HP damage dealers like Royal Guard or Husk. Be particularly good with her. I actually feel like she's very comparable to Michinaki, is sort of my feeling right now. Michinaki, we all know how good he is for Hydra. He comes in with a Hex, and he can also remove all buffs from all targets. He does bring decreased defense, decreased attack, and then the HP burn. So his HP burn is not as consistent as Teela's, but he's going to be joining in on some ally attacks. He will do a lot of damage himself, so I would expect overall Michinaki to outdamage Teela just by a bit, but not by a crazy amount. She's going to be more consistent with the AoE burn, and she's going to bring your team a ton of healing with Leech and the continuous heal. I would say overall, I think that he is probably slightly better, but I mean, the fact that you can even compare them is crazy considering how bad she was just recently. So yeah, for me, Teela, these are your old ratings, guys. These are your old ratings. This is a completely different champion now. I think for Doom Tower, etc. as well, she's going to be a monster too. But yeah, Hydra, extremely, extremely good now, guys. Really worth using. Yeah, absolute beast of a champion. She does need a good chunk of books, unfortunately. So what's that, 13, I think? Yeah, good chunk of books required, but super viable. Really, really strong. You could run her and provoke in the lead even, and she'd do a great job too. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of Teela. It's good to be back. I probably won't do a video tomorrow, but I will do one. We'll be back properly on Monday. I mean, we'll see how it goes. But guys, again, big shout out to Zeno for letting me jump on the account to showcase Teela. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.